All right, ladies and gentlemen, I need to make a public service announcement. Computer chip AI stocks are going nuts, and I don't know how I feel about it. What is going on, guys? My name is Kyle Williams. Welcome to the Clover Trading YouTube channel. And in today's video, I want to continue that public service announcement, which is AI computer chip stocks are going absolutely nuts. I don't want to say we're in a bubble, but as a trader, a stock trader of almost 8 years, I've seen many moves like this in my past times. And as exciting as it is to see these things go up hundreds of percent, it also is very scary, because I know this kind of environment does not last, and I want to go over it. I want to talk about it. So let's jump right in. The mover, the runner, the trader, the stock that is, I think, bring all the attention to these names is, of course, not SMCI, but Nvidia, right? That has really kicked off this theme, and I really kicked off this theme all the way back in May of 2023. Back here when it was at $300 and it gapped up all the way to $380, I was on, the news of their earnings of that, they have just increased revenues, increased sales, increased demand. The future looks bright for AI, right? And for companies that make chips that highly power these AI computers and just companies who need it. Companies need those chips. And so when this run started, I thought, okay, this is cool, that's awesome, that's great, but it gets even hotter. It gets even better. Just a couple months ago, actually a month and a half ago, in the beginning of January, and Nvidia breaks out over 500, and now we're at 730. We are now up, let's say since in the beginning of 2023, from 144 all the way up to 732. That's a huge percent gain. Even if you want to even go back even further, this stock was once, in 2019 at $32. So an insane move. And again, stocks and many investments can go up this much. It's not out of the ordinary. However, going up this quickly, this fast, gives me the heebie-jeebies, right? It doesn't seem healthy to me. I don't mean to sound like a Debbie Downer. Believe me, I think if the demand keeps up with what AI is bringing to the marketplace and what AI can be in the future, these moves make sense. People are investing in for the future. They're not investing in necessarily what these stock companies can be, but what they're going to become. And, Nvidia, it was the beginning and is kind of the leader, but it hasn't stopped here, right? SMCI is the big runner of the week, posting earnings on January 19th of 2024. And to bring you up, those earnings, SMCI, super microcomputer, surged 36% that day, approaching $500 from $400 or less. Their earnings per share was estimated of $450, but is actually projected to go to $555. Delivery of top line growth of $11 billion and 40% EPS growth to cross $16.50, with a projected 50% revenue growth to cross $12.5 billion next year. The stock will only still trading at 2 times sales. A bunch of mumbo jumbo there, but essentially at 300, 350, 400, 450, what they projected their sales to be, they were undervalued tremendously. And so hence that caused a huge move. It went from not 500, not 600, not 700, not 800, not 900. After the close today, we have hit $1,000 per share. Now, the reason why this gives me the heebie-jeebies is because yes, it may be undervalued down at the 5, 6, 700 range, but greed can take over. And it can take over a lot of people, and it can keep going. Now, does that mean saying that, SMCI here is going to stop at 1,000? No, it could go to 1,100, it could go to 1,200, go to 1,300. Who knows how high it goes? But when it goes up in this kind of a fashion, this isn't sustainable. There is going to be some kind of consolidation period. There will be some kind of healthier pullback. And beyond that, there's going to be profit takers, right? There's going to be people who are up 100, 200, 300% that are going to lock in profits, regardless of what they think about the company in the future. Not only that, this move also reminds me a lot of Tilray. Now, disclaimer, I view these companies way differently, right? I do see SMCI and Nvidia, and again, the whole AI sector keeping up and staying up and being a very long-term, probably good investment. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, don't take my advice. I'm not long any of these stocks long-term, but I can see the future with AI. It's clearly where we're headed, hence why these stocks are up huge. However, the price action of SMCI reminds me a lot of Tilray when Tilray ran back in 2018. IPO'd in the high 27s range, and before you know it, 2 to 3 months later, it was approaching 300. That was the highest it ever went in its history, and since then it has never got even close, since that day. A multi-100% move in a very short period of time. Eventually it just got too overblown and went from now 300 all the way down to 100 in about 4 days. So that's what, a 66% pullback? Do I think SMCI is going to do that? Probably not. I mean, again, I'm not a wizard. I can't tell the future. But at the same time, when you see a chart like this, it's very parabolic. It's very extended like Tilray is. And so I can't help but think, even if I was a long-term investor, I would like a healthy pullback. And in order to go higher long-term, you want pullbacks. pullbacks. You want healthy consolidation. You want people not letting greed get the best of them and having these stocks just go absolutely berserk. And again, SMCI is not the only one. We also have ARM. ARM, also just posted, I believe, earnings the other day, gone from 70 all the way up to 150 or 160, pulled back, right? Healthy pullback, now is at 130s. I believe there's also AMP, also a nice run, not as extended as the rest, but still a great uptrend over the last few months, if not year or two. And so that's kind of the market we're in. This is kind of the hot market that has all eyes on these hot, AI computer chip plays. Do I think this hype lasts forever? Of course not. Like I said, I've kind of been I've sounded too much like a Debbie Downer in this video, but I just want to bring awareness to, again, the move that these stocks are having. But again, removing myself from the greed, removing what I think about the future has for these companies, and just recognize that there is this over emotional sense of volatility. And if it can go up, it can go down. Right? So just be careful, do your own due diligence, and hope to see you guys in the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Holy crap, guys. So I'm making this video because we'll call it a part 2 of the video I literally just made yesterday. Made that on Thursday, February 15th, talking about SMCI and how the whole AI chip sector was a thing and is going up a ton in Nvidia, SMCI, AMR, AMD, all the good stuff, right? And I just kind of warned saying that just be careful, do your own due diligence, and if it can go up, it can go down. Like, I don't want to be Debbie Downer. I don't want to pop the bubble or be a party pooper to ruin the fun, but what goes up can come down. And what awesome kind of timing for me to feel that way about this particular stock, at least on specifically SMCI here, because the next day, which is today, Friday, was an absolute bloodbath. And as someone like me who likes to short sell and who's prepared to short sell when we are in these kind of opportunities, I killed it. I'm very happy with how I traded it. Could I have done better? Of course, you can always do better. It's never gonna be perfect, but out the open here, what did it do? It opened up, it gapped up first of all, right? The previous day close was 1,004, so $1,004 a share, gaps up to as high as, the 1070s, opens at about, 1040s, 1050s, does a morning pull, right? If we actually zoom in here, let me zoom in for us, does a morning pull, holds, and actually goes higher. And so this moment I thought, yeah, we might see 1,100, we might see 1,200, we might see 1,300, who knows how high this goes. But that was super short-lived. And then when we went back under VWAP here, which is around the 1050 area, I'm not really one to enter or exit based on VWAP, but I couldn't help but notice that was a pretty weak move that did not last very long. And to be back down pretty much where the stock opened up, roughly speaking, it had a couple more shares to go, but just to dip that much that quickly so soon into the market open after holding the first dip, I thought to myself, this is pretty weak. And then as it just kept getting weaker, I kept adding. So I added 100 shares here, I think I had another 100 shares here, and then another 200, and then maybe even another 100, 200 shares here as well. So ultimately I ended up getting to 600 shares. My average was in the 1020s, 1022, 1021-ish. Was gonna risk this 1056 to 1060, kind of this lower high, a balance attempt here. I actually did hold under VWAP, and the rest was history, guys. Proceeded to panic very, very nicely. Within minutes, it was down to 950s. So a full 100-point move in just a matter of 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, which is the kind of volatility you see when you see stocks like this go up too much, then they start going down too much too quickly. And so then I eventually started covered my first piece at 933 here, the rest, and some more at 900, and then 2 more pieces in the high 800s. I had about a third of my position left, thinking that we should see sub 850, just from looking at a daily chart like this at the time when it was at the high 800s, or I guess in the mid 800s. I just thought to myself, the fact that this run again has come from the 300s, not to mention the last 8 days or so, it's come from the 600s, there's still some room to come down. This could see 850, 830, maybe even 800. And now, of course, as the end of where it's going, I didn't have the conviction to hold to that long, as it did double bottom here, at 865. And when it did that, I thought to myself, there might be a bounce higher. It might need to bounce to 950 before going lower. And so I did cover with the intent of reshorting if it got up there. The problem is it never got up there. It never even bounced higher than the 935, which actually held through this bounce and then covered my last third of my position at around the 890 area. So one of those things was a little bit frustrating where, like I said, you're never gonna be perfect. There's always something you do better. And for me, it was not reshorting when I realized it wasn't gonna get back to 950, especially after this last bounce attempt to 920-ish, 917-ish, and immediately failed. That was another sign that this is just weak. It doesn't have much strength to really bounce significantly. And what do you know, a couple hours later, it starts fading off a cliff, broke that, 865 area, and we went as low as 800 right into the close here. If we actually go to the closing price, for a while, it actually traded right sideways perfectly 800 right into after hours. Obviously, we bounced in after hours now. But yeah, that's the trade, guys. Between this move right here, not even counting how much I could have made, and I made it to 800, but I made over $76,000 on this just trade alone right here. Probably the fastest $76,000 I ever made in my life, but it was something I wanted to be aggressive on. Again,
ever dreamed of trading like one of the Clovers? Well, it all starts with the right broker. Clover Trading and Centerpoint Securities have teamed up to supercharge your trading experience. By joining Unlock the Power of CP Edge exclusively with Centerpoint. We're talking top-tier trading tools worth over $6,000, all at your fingertips. Get ahead with real-time scanners, cutting-edge news, and a tailor-made trading journal. Experience trading like never before with superior short inventory, personalized support, and interest on your idle funds. Plus, you can get competitive pricing that fits your trading style. Ready to elevate your trading game? Click the Clover Trading link in the description below to get exclusive deals with Centerpoint Securities. Now let's get back to the content.
600 shares from about 1020, let's call it. I was risking about 20 grand or so, maybe 25 grand worst case with some slippage. And that was a trade. That was the amount of money I'm willing to lose going today. Again, it's not every day or every week or every month that you have a daily chart like this. So I went in being more aggressive and willing to be more aggressive. And it played out exactly. I mean, my read was correct. And this is the reason why. It's because it gave me such a straightforward panic. Again, probably the quickest 76 grand I've ever made in my life, which is really cool to see. But again, I've been trading for nearly 8 years now. This is not something that happened overnight. Maybe year 2 in, I was making like $600 on the same trade, on the same idea, on the same kind of first red day move, but on a whole other different ticker and a whole other different type of market. But yeah, and crazy, insane day to day. I know a lot of people made a lot of money who were short selling this. I believe some people bought put options. Some of these put options went up like thousands of percent. I know Huddy made like a few $100 on those put options, even though they went even higher. So in a crazy day, this is the kind of day that traders truly do live for. Not just today, but just this run up in general. This is the type of mover and runner and volatility, regardless of what stock it is. It's like the Super Bowl for traders. So very awesome day. Wanted to make this video just to do a little recap of how on earth this played out. Just after I made this video, I didn't necessarily suspect that this was gonna have a red day the next day, but I knew it was coming. And what do you know, the very next day it came. So if you like the video so much, make sure to like and subscribe. Hopefully you found some value. And as always, join the Clover community. We'll hope to see you in there. People in the Clover room actually really profited as well. Plenty of traders also made money shorting this too in the room. So it's just a very busy day, very active day for the room, which is what we love to do and live for, like I said. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching, and we will see you guys later. Peace.